Well, on November of 1963, I was 8.5 years old. I remember staying up late on the Thursday night, the 21st, and looking with my brother's telescope down. We lived off of Indian Creek Drive, and we could see cars well. And I remember with my brother's telescope, we could see the presidential seal. And my dad said, "Get in the car. Come on, we're going to go see the motorcade go by." And I said, "Well, we're not dressed." It was about after 11 o'clock. And he said, "That's okay, just grab a robe and jump in the car." We jumped in my dad's Oldsmobile and we drove down to where Westover Road comes out of Roaring Springs Road. And we sat there and we saw the whole motorcade go by. Well, the next morning, my brother Bob, who's the reason I was even there, he was 11, he woke my dad up and said, "You promised to take us to see the President Kennedy." And he said, and my dad looked out the window, saw it was kind of a drizzly morning, and thought, God, he's going to have these two boys in a crowd. He liked Kennedy, but he thought it might be a bit of a hassle. And my brother used the two words you never want to, you promised. So he said, "Get your brother dressed," and we drove down. It was about a 10-minute drive down, and we parked, I'd say about 6 blocks away, and we walked in, and we became part of a crowd of about 4,000 to 5,000 people. We were probably standing around the crowd for about 20 minutes when here comes President Kennedy with Johnson and Connally and Jim Wright and Senator Yarborough, and they got up on what was I didn't know it at the time, it was a flatbed truck they'd put bunting on, and the presidential seal there and the lectern. And it was amazing to see President Kennedy because, God, I had mostly seen him on television in black and white, and there he was in living color, and I couldn't believe how red his hair was. A Navy suit on, and he seemed in very good spirits. He made a joke about his wife, Jackie, not being there, but of course she took a little longer to get ready in the morning, but she looked a lot better. And it was I remember just a real euphoric crowd. I was a bit young to really understand later the consequences of the event. I couldn't believe he had been killed. I came in off the recess playground. I was going to St. Alice, Catholic school off of Camp Bowie. And I remember the nuns were all crying, and they told us to put our heads down on the desks, and then the news came through on the radio that he had died.